Who's heard of Holium? Oh. All right, I would love to welcome Trent from Holium.
Okay. Hello, everyone. This is actually interesting because, I was at Assembly like 2 years ago, and it was like the small scale vibe. And my experience when I first got in there was, this is definitely a cult. It's absolutely one. People were all dressed in black. They were like walking in formation and things like that. And, now it seems like it's even a more elaborate sort of cult. I mean, we have like a castle around us, we're walking the streets and eating at villas. So who was there at the original meeting of the cult back 2 years ago? Who was there? Just raise your hands, yeah. Okay, handful. What about Miami? Okay, we have a handful. So I think we should, keep an eye on who didn't raise their hand and make sure that you initiate them into the cult later, okay? So yeah, definitely not a cult, I promise. But it's got this sort of personal vibe, and I think that's the key to what makes, Urbit great, and it's the key to what makes like a network state possible, right? You need to have something that is human scale, personal, and definitely not a cult. So let me get started. So Web3. What these over? I was not a fan of sequels. I think there's too many of them. Like, after Infinity War, it's over, guys. Like, that's way too much. So, we should just throw Web3 and let them go up the stairs with Sam. So, we're entering a new age. And I think the reason I say Web3 is dead, or done, or over, is because we have to think differently. We have to unbound ourselves from all of these old systems and old ideas and think in a new way. And I think that's what Urbit provides, and that's what other groups and communities around Urbit bring. But we're entering the network age. That seems like a good phrase. That's not a sequel. It's like an original movie. I'd go see it. And I want to talk today about the organizational structure of the network age. So from what I can see, from the phenomenon of Urbit and the phenomenon around it, I think that the organizational structure of this new age is going to be Emergent Memetic Collectives. And so, we refer to them internally as EMCs. So these are examples of Emergent Memetic Collectives, right? We got Milady. Even though there's no meme, they still love you. Urbit, though, I would say, is the most EMC thing out there. Because I got to Urbit totally permissionless. I just discovered it, I came into the door, was initiated, and suddenly here we are, right? But all of these things have this sort of organic nature to them. It sort of spreads throughout the network. It hits this resonance. It's a commentary on culture, a commentary on technology. And it just is culturally relevant to the time. And so there's a few things that make this up in sort of my head and the team's head. It's that the cost of memetic production is virtually zero. Whereas back in the day, if I wanted to spread an idea, I would have to put on $3,000 suit or something and sit in front of a satellite broadcast studio and broadcast this out through NBC or ABC or something like that. And that's sort of old school. And in this new world, when the internet emerged, it became effectively free to send ideas around, and forums came, blogs, and 4chan, and eventually social media. So one thing that's necessary for this to exist is the free flow of memes. And the distribution is a function of resonance. So cultural resonance. It's like, does this make me laugh, or does this also make me feel, relevant? Is like something like Gamestop a good example of this? Yes. This is like I would say this is the largest example of an EMC in action, playing out, because this thing was not planned. It was sort of this thing that emerged from everyone being locked in their houses and being on Reddit and Twitter and things like that, right? But the most interesting thing to me about Gamestop is that it was like a wildfire. It started, the memes spread, and it was untapped. It spread, and you effectively had this great storyline that they made into a movie, I think, recently. That's effectively taking down the big boys or something, right? But it's just this moment that showcases this memetic resonance. And so another example is Doge, right? This is a bit different, though, because you have Doge, which has this great latent memetic energy behind Doge on a coin. But then you had someone like Elon spend his social capital to broadcast that much wider than it would have otherwise been. And so there's this period of time where this sort of stuff was happening. Maybe it was a symptom of everyone being in their house and being not in the real world, so they were all online. But there's almost this phenomenon behind it that is dangerous for some people. The old guys in suits are not a fan. They were let's get this shut down, let's move on. And I think that is a telling action or reaction from them. And so he calls up Mark Zuckerberg or Twitter, and he's like, guys, we got to suppress this. They turn the algorithms and tweak them, and suddenly these sort of mass events that catch fire do not occur anymore. Or they don't occur at the same scale to threaten the system or threaten the old guys in suits. So for me, seeing these two moments made me realize that these are sort of the examples of this phenomenon in action on a massive scale. It's these are huge. So in EMCs, products are bootstrapped with social capital. And this is critical. There's sort of this inversion that has occurred whereby, because the distribution costs are so low, you can effectively bootstrap a movement, an idea, without sitting in that broadcast studio in the 1990s and talking to someone over a satellite broadcast feed. You can just be sitting in your house, make a stupid meme, and suddenly, Elon Musk is retweeting it, or millions of people are aware of it. It's this new thing. And so how do we kind of tap into this energy that's just there? The internet's unlocked it for everyone. That's the question, and that's what we're trying to figure out. So luckily, with crypto, with blockchains, with the decentralized systems, we already have a key to this. We already know how to unlock it. At least we think we know, right? It's NFTs. Because effectively what NFTs are is they're a coordinating entity. They're an asset that could be like a milady. So it can coordinate this memetic energy into an idea or into a new culture. I feel like the miladies are almost employed in a way, right? They're propagating the meme. They're transmitting it. And also, you can think on a long enough time horizon, NFTs are citizenship. They're your passport. They are the way in which you can move around in a new world. So, what does this mean? What are we doing about this? Seems, crazy ideas. But actually, we're building products specifically to harness this energy. And we think, well, we know actually, that group chats are the basic unit of the network age. Group chats are the boardroom. It's where, like, it's the Illuminati surrounding in this circular table. That's like a group chat. It's like, maybe that's the pitch. Everyone can have their own Illuminati. Never mind. But what you do in those group chats is that you produce and curate cultural artifacts. So those are memes. It's commentary. It's reactionary takes. And you're forming them in sort of private environments, and then you distribute them out on the open network, right? You distribute it on the internet. And as long as you don't, hit certain chords, it can propagate fairly freely. But you need a decentralized system. You need blockchains. You need something like Urbit to allow these things to flow freely. So really, we are building tools for EMC to harness this memetic energy that I think is going to be the definition of the network age, is this open cybernetic system where culture is spreading, iterating, expanding. And so, it begins with this, Realm iOS. So this is an app, and yes, it's iOS, it's native Swift, not a PWA. My feeling is that, if you want to build something, that lasts, that gets adoption, we need to make sure we build it the right way. We need to build it to feel premium, to feel like everything that you're used to using. The other thing that's challenging, at least with a decentralized system, and specifically Urbit up until recently, is onboarding, right? So with Realm iOS, anyone who has a crypto wallet can get on instantly, and we sign in with Ethereum. And if you don't have an account, we create an Urbit and spin it up for you. If you do, it just logs you in. So for you just connect your wallet, boom, you're in. That's it. And the other key point is that it's effectively instant. So you hit confirm. This is not edited, actually. You copy it, you hit done, and you're in. That's all you got to do. You're in. We do pre-join you to some cool chats like pure aesthetics and things, but really slick. The other thing that's important is we don't want to just have one chain we're focused on. We're not trying to build our own chain. Instead, we want you to be able to link your crypto wallets from every chain and pull them together into one profile, one identity. And so you go through the flow, and over time we'll clean up the crypto UX. Perhaps there'll even be a built-in wallet, who knows? The other thing is, you want to showcase your favorite NFTs to your other EMC peeps. So you just add an NFT, showcase them. If it's animated, you'll see the animated ones. You can have them in your profile, all the things you can imagine. Creating gated chats. Very simple. You just create a gated chat. There's no loops. You don't have to configure the Discord bots. You don't have to fight with any integrations. It's just create it. Add your NFT, create it. That's it. The other cool thing is that once you add the NFT, any group chats that were created with that collection's contract address will instantly appear to you. So think about like Discord, right? You have one server, and you've got like a moderator. So like there's actually two moderators. There's Discord as the moderator, and then there's some guy, I don't know, some guy's moderating it, right? You say something that he doesn't like, all the channels are gone, you're not there. But the key bit to this is that everyone who creates a group chat against an NFT, they're hosting it. So it's a fully decentralized community, in that you can have people in the community that don't say things you like, but you can't ban them. You can't moderate them out of existence. So it's this real organic, decentralized feel. And this is just the start. Like, we have so many things on the roadmap. It's going to be great. And of course, all the other things that you expect from a great mobile messenger is also there, right? So features like pinch and zoom, it's amazing. It's stunning. But beyond that, there's one of the key pieces. All of these things, like we could have done a demo live, but I would prefer for you guys to just download the app, give it a shot, add some addresses. No private keys are ever transferred. It's all local, so you don't have to worry about that. But you can get it today. Okay. That was cool. I don't know. That was cool. I think it's going to be amazing to see all of these different communities get on and create chats. And as you buy NFTs on OpenSea, I've just been buying NFTs on OpenSea. It's sort of like become a weird addiction. And over time, as more of these chats and communities get on the platform, you're just going to have this really exciting discovering mechanism there. So that's really cool. And what's next is, what if your group chat, you could just create a shared wallet? What if you didn't have to go, do some online certification course or something to learn how to manage your Gnosis safe properly, and instead it was a very simple mechanism built for, consumer tier users. So you don't have to do this enterprise integration. It's just go into the group chat, create wallet, pull resources. That's it. So we call that social wallets, and it's coming, very soon. So back to the original framing of all of this. So how does a network state start from a group chat? Well, you sort of need membership, right? You need your citizenship. So the gating mechanism is a way to sort of make sure the right people are getting in, or the people that are more engaged with whatever you're resonating with, or whatever you're putting out culturally, right? So you pull resources in social wallets, you produce cultural artifacts, and this is effectively creating this social capital, and it's this feedback loop that if you're creating like good resonating social memes or cultural memes, you will start accruing a lot of social capital that can be converted to financial capital. And then, if you have enough, if your community is resonating, you just instantiate. You instantiate physically. You build, maybe you just pull resources and buy a cigar lounge with other people in the community. Maybe you buy a villa if you're really hitting that resonance. Whatever you can imagine. It's just pulling resources. Very, very, very simple mechanism. And so this QR code is access to the test flight. And if you miss it or for some reason it can't scan, we have a table up on the second level. So come there, we'll help you get onboarded, and you can start building your EMC on Realm. So that is it. That is the presentation, guys. I mean, I'm excited. Are you guys excited? I mean, I want everyone on there because it's going to be great. And you guys will make it great.